Hello, it's Paul Wardle, and this is my little enclave of joy and conversation, goes by the name of Earnest Prattle, edition 8. Today's show, I've got a fantastic, beautiful individual who's an international modelling superstar. No, I hear you say, I'm not talking to myself today. We do have a wonderful young lady to introduce to you. But before that, a little bit of housekeeping. Would you please consider pressing the like button, subscribing, sharing, and maybe leaving a comment? So, as I was saying, we have a lovely young lady today, Miss Voluptuous 2017, plus Miss Voluptuous finalist 2020. It's the lovely Laura Davis. Hello, Laura. How are
Hello,
you?
Paul. I'm good. How are you?
I'm very well, and better for seeing you, Laura. I must say you're looking absolutely amazing today.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much. I thought I put my lippy on for you and everything.
Yeah, you look fantastic. So, can I just start, Laura, by, as I normally do, just for those people that might not know you, Laura, just to give a little bit of background about who you are, where you're from, what you're about, just a little
What I'm
brief
about? Oh,
overview.
goodness me. So I'm Laura. I am closing in on 40, fabulous and 40.
Absolutely.
I currently live just outside of Bath in Somerset, but I was born and raised in Hucknall in Nottingham, very close to you.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I moved out of Nottingham 12 years ago. I came to Bath on holiday and I just didn't leave. It's an incredible place. I'm a single mum to Alira, who is just turned 4 and is a little sad. I have many hobbies. I compete in national pageant, which is why I'm dressed up today, because I had my final interviews today. I love to cosplay. I am an utter geek. Me and my daughter cosplay together. I do cosplay for charity. I do cosplay for fun. I have just joined also the HMB, which is the Historical Medieval Battle Group. So that is a non-staged full medieval battle with swords and armor and violence. So I'm off to be a warrior woman at some point soon.
I'll tell you what, Laura, with all that stuff, where do we start?
You start where you like.
So, I mean, I know you best. Obviously, I know you from Hucknall because you originally was a local.
I was for many years. For
also,
26 years I was there.
I'm immensely proud of what you've done in relation to the Miss Voluptuous pageants. And
Thank you.
Start off, I believe is it Miss Voluptuous 2017?
Yeah, so I was crowned. So a little background on my love of pageants is that my mum in the 70s was a very successful pageant queen.
That's brilliant.
And I loved hearing her stories, seeing her newspaper clippings, seeing her photographs, and it's something that I always wanted to do. However, I didn't feel that I was typical pageant queen material. I'm an ex plus size model. I expected pageant queens to be tall, size 6, a set of pearly whites, and not a slightly tall, voluptuous, tattooed, alternative, geek girl. I didn't expect them to be able to do anything.
Well, this is where I get myself into trouble, Lord, saying I prefer you every day of the week, to be fair, than a size 6. I never wanted to hug a woman and slap myself in the face, but I'll probably get into trouble for saying that.
But I decided to do it. I found a home with Miss Voluptuous pageant. So Miss Voluptuous is a pageant system for ladies who are a UK size 14 and up. So I am 5'9" and a size 20. So I am a fabulous plus size girl. And I found a home there. I found friendship and found that there's no such thing as typical pageant queen. We are all so different. We are all bring our own style and our own
Was that the
charity.
first one you got involved with, Laura, the 2017 one?
So the first pageant I actually got involved with was a small pageant at Portsmouth Tattoo Convention, and
Right.
I competed for Miss Tattooed Portsmouth 2016. I did not win. I did not place. I had the best time. I was actually 6 months pregnant when I struck down that stage. But I had such a fun time, and the girls that I met there, they stayed friends. I'm still friends with them now, and we still talk. And I just thought, wow, this is amazing. I've made friends. I've had a good time. What else can I do? And I ummed and ahed about applying. I saw Miss Voluptuous advertised, and I thought about it, and I talked myself out of it, and I talked myself into it. And one night, 2 a.m., I sent my application off.
And what did you do for your self-esteem that first time? Did it make you feel a lot better about yourself?
I spent many years being told that I shouldn't be proud of myself, that I shouldn't have any confidence, that I shouldn't, go out there and make a spectacle of myself. And you know what? I've reached nearly 40 years old, and I've decided, well, why the hell not? Why not?
Well, why not? Indeed. I mean, I've always been a big guy, and I've always struggled with my self-esteem due to that fact. But so many people tell me that I'm not a bad-looking bloke and I shouldn't be so hard on myself. But it's a difficult step to get over, to be fair.
And it took me many years to get into that mindset. It didn't happen overnight. It didn't happen straight away. But it does happen. And when it does, it's so freeing. And you know what? If people can only see me for how I look, if people can only see me for the shape I am and the size I am, they're kind of missing out, because, I'm not just this body. I am a mum, and I'm fun and funny and loving and caring. And if all they can see is how I look, then I don't think it's worth it.
Well, we know we both have a mutual friend, Alistair Morrison, and the photographer. He
certainly do.
He thinks you're fantastic as well.
I think he is fantastic. I want to smush him. When COVID is over, I want to give him a...
Well, you have to get to the queue, because I'm going to give him one as well, I'm afraid, first.
Yeah, I'll fight you for him. But the people who say, people, the first question, I did an interview on BBC Radio, and the question that comes out every single time is, what do you say to the people who say that you are promoting obesity, if you are glorifying obesity?
Laura Davis, would you like my job? Because I was just about to ask you that question.
That is the first. It's always a question, no matter who I'm in. It's always a question. And if you want to ask it me, I'm ready.
Well, I was going to say to you, I was thinking, Laura, I'm going to play devil's advocate. And although it's not my opinion, some people say that promoting the bigger body size is not a healthy thing to do. And it shows the wrong type of image. So, in your answer to that, what would you say to that, Laura?
I think the most important thing to start with is that you cannot tell somebody's health just by how they look.
Correct.
I know people who are slim and are unhealthy. I know people who are bigger and unhealthy. I know people who are bigger and healthy. Myself, I'm a plus size girl. I'm not unhealthy. I'm active. I played rugby for years. I walk miles. All my stats are good. And people said it will catch up with you as you get older. Pretty much middle-aged now and still pretty healthy. What I'm promoting is not a body type. What I'm promoting is a little bit of self-confidence. I'm promoting self-love. I'm promoting that we all deserve to be happy and represented. We all deserve to be loved. And we're people at the end of the day. Being bigger does not then automatically make you a...
What an important message at this time with the COVID circumstances.
It's like you cannot judge someone on how they look. You cannot judge a book by its cover. if I'm promoting self-love and I'm promoting a little bit of confidence, I'm happy. And like I said before, if the only thing someone has got to see me for is my body shape and make assumptions about me, they can spend their life worrying about what I'm doing while I'm out there living.
Correct.
I'm out there living my life and being a mum and being a fun mum. And I fell off a zip line the other day. I landed
You fell off a zip line?
Yeah, on a pile of mud. I'm living, I'm enjoying myself. If they're going to waste their life worrying about how I look, that's their prerogative, but I'm not going to take any notice of
You
it.
sound like you're living life to the full, even regardless of the
Yeah.
circumstances, Laura.
Definitely. Why not? I've filled my life with incredible people and incredible hobbies and incredible experiences. Why shouldn't I have those experiences? Why shouldn't I have that life just because I'm plus size?
Am I one of the incredible people in your life, Laura?
Of course, you are always, always, always. Always.
Thank you very much. You know, in relation to the 2017 pageant when you won,
Yes.
how did that look? What does the pageant involve? What do you have to do to get that title?
So pageant is this pageant that I join in with, Miss Voluptuous, is a platform-based pageant. So a platform-based pageant is where you choose something that's close to your heart, a charity, and you raise awareness and you raise money for them and you use your voice and your title to help them raise awareness.
Yeah.
So for example, some of the girls are mental health advocates. Some of the girls are domestic violence advocates. Some of the girls are, something that's close to them. Myself, the first year that I competed, my platform was supporting our armed forces and our military. And I worked really hard for the military charities like Help for Heroes, SAFA, my local veterans community outreach program. A little something happened. I was crowned that year. Unfortunately, after a couple of months, I was forced to give back my crown. That's not because I didn't want it. It's because several things happened to me in my life that made it, something had to give. I was mum to a new baby, and I then gained a corneal disorder, which means that I lost use of my useful sight. So I am actually registered as partially sighted. And all those things combined meant that I could not give my platform and my crown the passion that it needed then.
I understand totally.
I was devastated that I had to give it back, but it's essentially a full-time job. And when I had a job and a baby, and all of a sudden I'm going in for surgery after surgery after surgery, I have a prosthetic in my eye, I have had laser surgery, cross-linking. The only thing left is a corneal transplant, which I'm on the list for. But I decided that this wasn't going to break me. It was going to be a rebirthing. Like I had gotten into maybe just living for the day, going to work, coming home, going to work, coming home. I was living just a mundane life. Now I've decided to take that back and to come back fighting, come back, okay. I've lost useful sight, but I'm living a much more productive, much more passionate, much more
when you meet me in person,
life than I was before. Sorry?
When you meet me in person, that might be a good thing.
I'm just living it. I've got like a newfound zest for life. So I decided to recompete for this.
Well, no one would have blamed you for that, Laura. It was such a thing you had to deal with, and it's totally understandable.
Yeah, it was understanding. I've made friends, and obviously I've remained friends with the pageant team because I was accepted to recompete this year. So I must have at least done something right.
So how does it look now, Laura? Because I know you was a finalist again in 2020, wasn't you?
Yeah, so it was 2021.
I take it you can't actually physically go to a pageant. So is it all virtual now? How do you do it these days?
Yeah, so this year we went virtual. So the rounds for pageant were fun fashion, eco, evening gown, and interview.
Right.
Would you like to know what each of those means?
Yes, go on then,
Because I'm sure
please.
it means absolutely nothing to you. So fun fashion is just that, something fun, something that showcases your personality. Eco wear is an outfit that means something to you that is made entirely from recycled, upcycled, donated materials. You're not allowed to spend any money,
Yeah,
and
I
it's
think
got
I've seen
to.
a picture of you in that, Laura.
Yes, I created
Yeah.
the ball gown from the film The Labyrinth out of bubble wrap and
Yeah,
broken
exactly.
jewelry. Exactly, it went down very well, I assume.
Do you know that outfit would have done so much for my stress levels. I'd love to have a few pops.
Yeah, I sat down and then laughed an awful lot. Evening gown is just that. It's an evening gown. It's a ball gown or an evening dress. And interview is an interview with the judges. This year had the biggest panel of judges ever. 11 judges, all done virtually. So where usually we would do those face to face, we did them over meetings where we would usually do our walks in our outfits on stage with an audience. We filmed them virtually and sent them in for judging. Because this year we have the chance to go international. So the winners of, there are 5 winners available this year: England, Ireland, Scotland, and Wales. And then one of those queens will then become Miss UK overall.
Right.
Now, I cannot actually win Miss UK because I have been Miss UK before. So I compete for a Miss England title. Those queens can then go to international competition. Miss Voluptuous International is being held in October in the United States. So I could potentially go out there as a queen and represent. Yeah, so there's queens from countries, so from all over the United Kingdom still, from Greece, from Guam, from New Zealand, from Australia, from the United States, from the Netherlands. Like the amazing women from around the world are competing internationally, and that is something that I would be absolutely excited to do. What an amazing story to tell my little girl as she grows up.
Yeah, it would be amazing.
This is what I did. I didn't let any of this, I didn't let this body, I didn't let this disability stop me. I did what I wanted. I loved it.
Well, regardless of any outcomes, Laura, I'm totally and utterly proud of you. I think you're fantastic. So you're always going to be number one on my list in that respect.
Thank you.
So let's move on to, we mentioned briefly cosplay. I mean, for those that don't know, what is cosplay? Is it like going to like Comic-Con type events and getting dressed up and meeting like-minded individuals that are into the same sort of...
Absolutely, it's an absolute geek fest. I love going to Comic-Con. So cosplay is costume play where you dress up as your favorite character, superhero, supervillain, Disney princess, Disney villain, anime, manga, every single fandom you can think of, you can cosplay.
I bet you see some amazing outfits, don't you, at places like that?
Oh, incredible. I'd like to say that I'm a non-accurate cosplayer. Some cosplayers work very hard to be movie or comic book accurate, where everything is as it would be. Because I am not shaped movie accurate, I don't do movie accurate. I do my own spin, my own version on a character, and I like to do something called crossplay, which is taking a predominantly male character and then turning them female, doing a female version. So, for example, I did a female version of the Joker. I did a female version. I'm doing a female version of Skeletor from the Masters of the Universe.
Well, I can remember Skeletor. I've seen that one. That was amazing.
Yeah, I'm doing an upgrade on the face at the minute. And I did a female version of Aquaman. and then met Jason Momoa dressed as the girl version of him.
Really?
Which was surreal. He said I was surreal. He thought I was a drag act, and I decided I would be anything that he liked.
That's fair enough. I'd have been in drag to meet him, to be honest. I wouldn't have minded.
He's lovely. One of the nicest people. So warm and funny.
I mean, I had my own little version of cosplay, you know. It's not quite the same, but a Butlins weekend, adult weekend, I was dressed as Bane from the Batman film.
Oh, great character. We could do it together because I have a Poison Ivy cosplay.
Yes, I looked actually. But in fact, I'll send you the picture later, Laura, so you can see what you think. But I thought it looked quite well. I thought I did a good job, and it was a genuine tactical army vest type thing that cost me quite a bit of money from the States. So I put a bit of thought into it. Okay, so the question in relation to that is DC or Marvel, Laura?
DC.
Definitely DC.
I'm a DC girl.
You are?
I do cosplay some Marvel characters. I've cosplayed the She-Hulk. But I'm predominantly a DC girl, or an old school sort of retro cartoon. I love Masters of the Universe and I'm looking at Thundercats and things like that.
I mean, who is your favourite character in the films in DC universe?
Batman.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm Batman as well. Well, I'm not me personally. I'm not saying I'm Batman.
I have an amazing signed picture that was signed by Michael Keaton and Jack Nicholson, and it's my prized possession.
Do you know what I love about Batman? What I love about Batman is he's a normal person with amazing skills. He's got lots of money. I mean, he's got his little gadgets, but anybody could be Batman if they. Yeah, he's still got.
I'm a Batman fan. I also the biggest change that I did, because I like to do looks that challenge my special effects and makeup skill. That is a job that I want to do. I want to go into special effects, makeup, prosthetics, creature creation, and work in horror movies. I'm self-taught at the minute, but I would like to save the money to go on a course to do what I want to do. And I cosplayed as Alpha from The Walking Dead. I had to get all of my hair under a bald cap. It was ridiculous because she's a skinhead. And it was amazing because Samantha Morton, who is a British actress, you might remember her back in the day from the drama Band of Gold, incredible actress. I tagged her on my Instagram in the picture and she shared it to her Instagram, and I was like 7.5 million followers and my little face on there. It was amazing. That's my favorite character to play. So it's not DC or Marvel, or it's The Walking Dead is one of my favorites. Because it's such a creative character, and she's so far away from who I am. She's horrible. She's a horrible character. She's mean and she's nasty, and I am not. Well, I'd like to think I'm not anyway.
I mean, that's for somebody who's like I say, quite a serious. Well, I've got quite a serious life at the minute due to the circumstances. I love DC Universe and the Marvel Universe. It's just escapism, and I love it. And it's just like escaping from, and it's like nothing at all in this world. And you just let your imagination run riot. I mean, me personally, I like Iron Man. The reason I like Iron Man is the same reason I like Batman, because it's a bloke in a suit, and he hasn't got any superpowers. But it says to me that anybody can be a superhero. They don't have to have superpowers. And exactly. That's why you're one of my own personal superheroes, Laura, for what you've been through and what you've made of yourself. So that's where I like that connection. My brother likes Superman, but it's a bit too far-fetched for me.
One of my friends is a massive Superman fan, and we went to see Batman versus Superman at the cinema together, and basically sat and ripped each other.
Yeah.
for 2 hours.
Batman kicked his ass in the end, didn't he, bless him? So a bit of mind over matter. What I normally do, Laura, to wrap up our talks is, if you'd be so kind, is I usually get my lovely guests to say hello to my mother. My mum's name is Anne, so I was wondering if you'd say hello to my mum and send her a message for me, please.
Of course. Hi, Anne. I would like you to know that your son Paul is one of my most favourite people. He is kind and funny, and he's always been supportive, and I'm hoping that you are super proud of him. And I hope to meet you one day when I come up and take you off to be Bane at Nottingham Comic Con.
Absolutely, yes. I'll put that on the bucket list. Definitely.
Definitely.
So, and please send me one of your cosplay pictures after the chat.
Is there a particular one that you would like?
Well, send me your favourite.
Okay.
And
I will do.
I'll potentially, if we can, share it for everybody to see at the end of the chat, if that's okay.
Sure thing, no problem.
So, what's the future looking like for you, Laura, then, in regards to things you've got lined up?
So, obviously, I'm awaiting results of pageants, so that's going to shape my year, depending on the result. If I am not crowned this year, because honestly, the competition this year was incredible. The girls that have joined this year are phenomenal. I've never ever seen dedication and hard work like it. So I'm proud of them. If I don't get crowned, then I think I would recompete. I think I'd give it one more shot.
Good.
If I am crowned, I have a year's worth of hard work and queening to do, which will include internationals in the States at the end of the year, like I say. And I will then have a little girl who's going off to school this year.
And what an amazing little girl she is.
I beg your pardon?
I said, what an amazing little girl she is. I see the pictures on Facebook.
Oh, she's sassy, isn't she?
Very. Takes after her mum.
Yeah. Yeah, the acorn hasn't fallen far from the tree. Absolutely there. Not.
So
she's a wonderful child.
She's brilliant. Love her, bless her. So just need to say, Laura, just a massive thank you for talking to me today.
You're welcome.
So
you're welcome.
Like I say, #1 fan. Best of luck for the 2021 event, and I'll be supporting.
Thank you. I'll let you know how I get on.
Oh yes, please do. Okay, thank you very much, Laura.
Thank you.
Bye bye for now.
Bye.